All right, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the podcast. This is the Writer's Block, of course. My name is Marley. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, for those of you who are, coming back for the second, third, fourth, whatever time, I'm still Marley, and welcome back. As you can see, it is nighttime in here, which is a divergence from our normal podcast episodes. The reason why, and by the way, I'm in my studio right now, and welcome to my studio. The reason why we're here is just because it feels right to me. Um, I'm a dark, moody person, right? I love that aesthetic. I love that vibe. So, why not have the dark aesthetic and vibe and moodiness? So, we're here in the studio, and I'm excited about it. For me, it feels like home. It feels like home. Plus, I'm more awake at nighttime. My phenotype, I think that's what it's called, phenotype. If you don't know your phenotype, go check it out. And it may not be called phenotype. I'm not 100% sure right now, but basically everybody has a natural circadian rhythm, right? And based on that circadian rhythm, you fall into either one of four categories. I'm a wolf. I believe there's a bear, a dolphin, and a lion, I think. But like I said, each of those have or correspond with a different circadian rhythm. And mine being the wolf, I'm up at night. That's when I'm most creative. That's when I'm most kind of like alert. That's when I feel good. I just feel good. I have this, by the way, if you're watching this, because we are, filming this podcast, but I had this flip clock thing happening here and I freaking love it. It's amazing. If you're looking at this and you like it too, then it's called Flip Clock, and it's in the App Store. You can go get it. So it's pretty cool. But anyway, yeah. So phenotype wolf, that's me. By the way, I'm going to. This is a disclaimer, guys. Um, Normally in the mornings, when I first wake up, my brain's a little different. And sometimes there's, Vyvanse coursing through my brain for my ADHD. So right now that is not happening. And my brain is definitely all over the place. And I feel like I can't really focus. But like I said, I feel most creative and most alert at this time. It just feels good. So the disclaimer is I may be all over the place. I may be kind of unfocused and my words may not make sense at times. So stick with me. I promise it's going to be um, a wild ride, a fun ride. It's going to be cool. So, um, what have I been doing in these past couple weeks? Here's obviously I haven't been here, and it was something that I wasn't really proud of because the whole reason that I started up the podcast again was to be consistent. I wanted to wake up every morning, 6 a.m., come in here, or not every morning, but I have been waking up every morning at like 6 a.m. My dog like wakes me up anyway, but I wanted to wake up, come in here around like 7, record the podcast, uh, move about the cabin, get along with my day, and feel accomplished every single time I do it. And like I said, it goes against my actual nature, which in turn kind of made me feel a little like worthless. I don't know if that's the right word necessarily, but like it just made me feel bad because I wasn't doing that at a certain point in time. Like I wasn't able to keep it wasn't sustainable. So therefore I started feeling bad about myself when I couldn't accomplish that task. And so I was kind of down in the dumps about it and some other things. And I'm gonna kind of cover it in a second. But I felt bad. I don't know. I just kind of felt bad. I felt like I wasn't achieving. And for me, my self worth is kind of attached to productivity and what I achieve, and that's something in therapy. But anyway, point is, I'm back. I'm glad to be back, and we're gonna kick it off, or we're gonna keep going with the nighttime thing. I this is my thing. This is my jam. So we're gonna do that anyway. This book that I'm holding in my hand for everybody who is watching this. Shout out to my church. We went on this retreat and they gave us this journal and I freaking love it. It's an amazing journal. It's like leather or suede or something. I think it's suede, which I just found out that suede is actually leather. So, but I think it's suede. It has like the little tie thing. It feels very antiquish. I don't know, artisanish, hipster. I don't know what it is, but it feels really good. But anyway, today I'm gonna read a journal entry because it kind of sums up where I've been, both like why I've been gone, but also like where I've been kind of mentally. So, September 28th. Here's what I wrote: Am I just too sensitive? Sensitive towards others or myself? I feel too deep at times, or is that a superpower? Yesterday, I spoke with my therapist about my feelings around my ADHD. I talked about how I can't just do. She said, and I'm kind of going off script here because I'm going to describe it a little bit better. But she gave this perfect analogy to me. It broke it down. Like I've wrecked my brain trying to figure out how to explain ADHD to people. And maybe if you're out there and you have ADHD, and then you kind of probably know what I'm talking about. Um, it feels sometimes, well, it feels for me a lot of the times misunderstood. And um, like I said, she just kind of said it perfectly. And I wish I could go back in time and just have that explanation and be able to tell people who were asking me when I couldn't give that explanation. I wish I could, kind of remix it. But anyway, here's the explanation. She was like, "You go to the gym, right?" Which I do now. Um, she was like, "You go to the gym." She said, "You know how to deadlift?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." And she was like, "So you know all the mechanics of deadlifting. You know where to put your feet, how to plant them. You know the like mind muscle connection of deadlifting. You know where to or how to bend your knees, lift with your legs. You know how to keep your back straight and your spine neutral. You know how to grip the bar. You know how to pull up the bar and complete the deadlift. Bring the bar back down or drop the bar or whatever." Um, and she was just like, "Is that correct?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course. Like that's a deadlift. I know how to do a deadlift." And she then says, "Can you lift 1,000 pounds?" And I was like, "No." Bro, I'm like 140 pounds. I didn't tell her that, but I'm 140 pounds. There's no way I can do that. That's not a physical thing. It goes against physics for me. And she was like, "That's ADHD." And it made so much sense because it's like, with ADHD, and hopefully the people who have ADHD can kind of attest to this, but you know things that you need to do. You want to do them. You want to do better. You want to do. You desire to do. You desire to kind of be like normal or neurotypical, I guess. But you just can't, and it's so frustrating. So frustrating. But it she described it perfectly. But anyway, going back to the journal entry. Um, That's ADHD. I've also been thinking about my podcast and how I just stopped. At first, I was busy, then I was unprepared, and now so much time has gone by that I'm just out of the momentum of that habit. Does my life, the way it is, happen for or happen to me? I've created this life through a series of choices, but did I choose them or did my neurodivergent brain do it? I'm grieving a life that I never knew and could have had. But in the same breath, that neurotypical life wouldn't have been me. Be grateful. That was the last thing I said. Be grateful. Um, but yeah, like it literally felt like that. It feels like I'm grieving what I could have been. Would I have finished college? Would I have, um, you know, stuck with so many things that I didn't stick with, and possibly been more accomplished in those things at this point? Um, but at the same time, I think a lot of my creativity and the way I think and who I am is, I'm not gonna say because of ADHD, but it's part of me. And so I kind of wrote at the end, just be grateful, just to kind of remind myself of the gratitude part of that. Um, I used to say like I hate using ADHD as a crutch, which I kind of do, right? Like I don't want to constantly. I hate saying it. Honestly, I hate saying ADHD over and over again. But um, I still kind of hate, saying it and using it as a crutch. But at the same time, I don't. Like I love talking about it. I love researching it. I love discussing my feelings towards it with people, and I love being able to shed light on my experience or talk about my experience to hopefully shed light on other people's experience and make them feel seen and hopefully connect with them and make them feel a little less isolated. You know what I mean? Just to connect with people and share a common ground and let them know they're not alone. I think that's an important thing. It's something that I crave. I think it's something that every human kind of craves. And so for that reason, I love talking about it. Right. I even saw this video yesterday on Instagram of this kid. He's like 12 years old, and he has pretty severe ADHD. And they talked about how like intelligent and creative he was, but at the same time, he couldn't like focus past 5 minutes. You know what I mean? Um, and so it kind of hurt him in certain areas of life, like doing his homework. And I remember like me, doing homework and not being able to like focus on it, and um, it's tough. And so when I saw this kid, I was like proud or something. Like I was like, oh man, you're not alone. You know what I mean? Like I know that feeling, but at the same time, I know the good parts of it, right? Like the superpower within it. So I was kind of like hopeful for him, and like I said, proud of him in some weird way. I really was, and I thought that was really dope. But um, I've realized, and like I said, I thought I hated talking about it because of like my own feelings towards it. But I've realized I hate talking about it because of what I think other people are feeling towards it. I tend to think that people are like, bro, just get over it. I feel like people are like, um, it's kind of like a made up thing, and maybe not made up, but like maybe like it's a kid thing, right? And you're an adult. Just my favorite. Just focus. Just do it. And it's like, bro, if I could lift 1,000 pounds, I would, right? Um, and even like I think part of it is I don't have the hyperactivity. There's like 7 different types of ADHD, which if you do have ADHD, or even if you don't, and just kind of want to learn more about it, like is this guy named Dr. Amin or Amin, um, and he's like the leader, the world leader, or one of them at least in ADHD. He's identified 7 different types of ADHD. He's come up with this spec brain scan to identify your specific type of ADHD. Um, and he's written books and stuff like that. So it's like even his Instagram is like really it's a great resource. It's very educational and very enlightening around the different things in ADHD, and I think that's an amazing thing. So like I said, if you want to check that out, definitely check that out. His name is Dr. Amen, Amen. But my my type of ADHD doesn't have hyperactivity, like physically. My mental hyperactivity is definitely there. Like even right now, I feel myself, and it might be a mixture of sleep. You know what I mean? Like I probably do need to go to sleep. I've been up all day, but it's definitely, I'm pretty sure, an ADHD thing too. Like I'm having a hard time focusing. It feels like my words are all over the place. It feels like I'm talking very fast. Um, and it's something that I'm kind of self-conscious about in a way, because as I'm sitting here, I know that you guys can kind of hear it. But I think it was important to do this, to like kind of bare my soul in front of you guys, not only because it helps you guys understand me more, but for anybody out there who feels the same way. Like I said, hopefully it makes them feel seen, and hopefully it lets them know that they're not alone in their journey with it. And so I'm really excited about this episode and just talking about and having a candid conversation about ADHD. But my parents didn't see it, because of that, because of the lack of hyperactivity. So, um, also, like it kind of in children, it kind of manifests as, oh, they're just being children. You know what I mean? Like he doesn't want to do homework, so he's not doing homework. Um, but sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes it's you can't focus. And I remember having trouble reading. Um, my mom put me into this like reading program. Um, and the one specific thing I remember is like they told you to like follow your hand across the page as you read. To like, I guess I don't keep your eyes on track. I have no clue. But weird thing is recently I found out that um it really helps people with ADHD if each word is capitalized. Just the first letter of the word is capitalized. It's strange, but it actually works. But yeah, I feel like I'm definitely or I have definitely grieved. No, I would say I am grieving the person that I could have been or would have been. And I think part of that is my um endeavors with like music, and I did some clothing stuff, and I've done like video and photography, and they all go extremely well, and then I just stop. Even college, I just stopped. And I got good grades throughout high school. But yeah, college was totally different. And so I often wonder like who I would have been, and I often feel like it's too late now. You know what I mean? Like it feels like um, I'm too old or I'm too far behind. And that just creates a whole bunch of other feelings. It kind of created, like some anxiety and depression as well. So um, I was watching The Voice last night, and this is where it all kind of changed. Like at least the thought around it. I was watching The Voice, and this girl comes on. She's like 20. She's young, and she comes on, and she's like, you know, I deferred college for this. She's like, she believes in her dream, so she was going for it. And at that moment, I was just like, I believe in my dream. I do believe that. Um, I believe I'm skilled. I believe I'm a fast learner. I believe in my ability, right? Um, the hard thing is like I don't believe because of my experience with it thus far, I don't believe that I have the stick to itiveness, the organization. I don't have the focus to achieve those dreams, and that's a scary thing. It's a depressing thing, to constantly think about. But um, she kind of gave me hope because I realized, like I said, I've always felt like it's just too late. But in that moment, I just kind of realized that um, it's not too late. I realized that we live in a world right now where you can literally do whatever you want. You can go online and sell pictures of your feet, and become super successful with it, right? Like, so I guess what I'm saying, the whole thing of this episode is for those of you who, even if you don't have ADHD, but especially if you do, but even if you don't, if you feel like inadequate, or if you feel like you're too far behind, or if you feel like um, you're just stuck, I would say to you this. I would say you're not stuck. You're not inadequate. You're not too far behind. You just got to keep doing it. And I know that sounds so cliche. I know it does, but like 1% better each day, just 1% better each day is 365% better by the end of the year. That's all you need to focus on. For all my ADHDers out there, write stuff down. I think that has helped me a bit. Um, just writing things down, and because you forget. So yeah, write things down. Set timers for yourself. Like when you're doing work, I've created this fun little game with myself where I set a stopwatch and see how fast I can get things done. So stuff like that, finding these little kind of hacks. In addition to, I meditate, I exercise, I try to eat well. protein is a big thing for ADHD. I don't know why. I haven't really researched that part of it, but I do know that protein is a thing. So eating well, adequate sleep, which we all know I'm a night owl, so that's an issue for me sometimes. But adequate sleep, eating well, exercise, water, just taking care of your body, and then your mental, right? Like meditation. I know a lot of people feel like meditation is not um, for some people, meditation doesn't fit their like religion. I know I have many friends, and I've actually come into contact with many people who feel Christians who feel like meditation isn't a thing we should be doing, and um, for that reason, I think it gets a bad rep. But for me, meditation is just a time to quiet yourself. That's all it is. It's a time to be. Um, so many times in our life, in this world, we're constantly running. There's a bunch of noise, whether it be, social media or noise in your own head or your family, whatever it is, there's a lot of noise. And it's good to just to be quiet, just to sit still for a second and try to shut out the noise. So that's in my head, in my experience, that to me is meditation. So yeah, and if you feel comfortable with it, definitely meditate. It helps. Um, so yeah, I mean, I just hope that this episode has helped someone. I hope every episode helps someone. Um, but if it did, definitely let me know. Um, and let me know if ADHD is something that you guys want to talk more about. I have a plethora of things to talk about in that realm because I hyper focus. So I definitely research it and go down many rabbit holes um, when it crosses my brain or whatever. So we can definitely talk about that, but. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm releasing this at 10 a.m. still on Wednesdays. So I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys have a great day. Um, yeah, that's it. I'm out.